Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. This time it is another pickups video, as well as just a bit of talk with regards to me meeting up with a few YouTubers a few weeks ago. I'm probably quite late. Most of you have probably seen Daz's Cojones de Loros videos, or you've seen Jay Cybersnake 7's videos, or Dal's video at his house. There wasn't a lot of I didn't film anything. And there wasn't much footage filmed where we were. And I know that Jay put up some footage. You can see me briefly in the video. But essentially, what it was that Jay and Daz decided they were going to meet up and come down to London for a bit of retro game hunting. And they went down to Retro Game Base in Streatham and PlayNation Games in Croydon. I met up with them in PlayNation Games Croydon. I've been there quite a few times, so I decided I was going to meet up with them there. And yeah, it was great to meet up with Daz and Ocarina Fella, as well as meet up with meet Stu, who is one half co-owner of PlayNation Games. Good to see him again. He was a really nice guy the first few times I'd been there, so it was great to see him again. And you know, and it was really nice to see, you know, Jay Cybersnake 7 and the retro Godfather Dal as well, who I actually at the time had no idea was going to be there. So it was really great to see him. Probably the one person I was expecting to show up who didn't show up in the end was Lee, the retro chef. You know, shame he couldn't make it, but I heard he was busy. But otherwise, it was a really good day. I got there just a bit before them. I had to wait around for them because they were held up in traffic. They were trying to make their way down to PlayNation and they got held up. But I was okay for the most part. I did what I needed to do at PlayNation. So by the time they got there, I was just sort of hanging around. But it was not. I'm glad that I did wait around because it was really great to sort of you know, chat with the guys. You know, I managed to have a one-to-one chat with each and every one. It was great seeing Ocarina Fella again. I've seen him now. This will be the third time I've met up with him, and he's a really nice guy, really top fella. So Carl, mate, you know, props to you, mate. You're a really top guy, mate. Really good meeting you again. Really nice guy. Yeah, so him and Daz, second time I've met him now. And I think this time I got to talk to him a bit more. I think the first time I only spoke to him very briefly, but this time I did, you know, have a good chance to, you know, have a talk with him, and he's a really great guy. Just how he comes across on camera. So it was definitely great to have a little chat with him. He's such a funny guy. Really cool, down to earth lad. I say lad, he's older than me, but but really cool guy. Definitely want to meet up with him again. You know, and then of course there was Jay and Dal. You know, I'm gonna get to Dal in a second. But Jay, you know, like I was looking forward to meeting him because you know, he's one of my favorite YouTubers, and I really do like his pickup videos. His commitment to the quality of his pickups. That's really what I do like about his stuff. And he comes across as, again, you know, just another down to earth guy. I mean, there's a lot of guys on here that I'm subscribed to that come across in a similar fashion, which is really the appeal of why I watch those particular videos. And why I'm subscribed to certain people. It's really just more their sort of their personal nature and how they come across in their videos. So it was really nice to have a chat with Jay, because to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know when I'll ever get a chance to meet you, mate, because you know you live up in Birmingham, and you know I haven't been going to any of these events, retro events or nothing like that, which I will aim to change. But in the meantime, you know, who knows when I was gonna get a chance to have a chat with you. So it was great that I was able to meet up with you. And then of course, you know, there was Dal, the retro Godfather. It was really great to finally put a face to the name. He came up to me, he introduced himself, you know, and automatically, you know, it was just like, you know, it was all love, you know, great guy. You know, I'm familiar with his videos. I'm sorry, Dal, for some strange reason, I wasn't subbed to you. I know I was subbed to you. I don't know what happened there. Because your videos haven't been coming up in my feed, and then I've since remedied that. But yeah, no, it was kind of weird because I know I've watched a lot of your videos in the past, so I don't know why I was I wasn't listed as subscribed to you, but that's since been sorted out. But you know, really cool guy. Great talking to him. That man knows his stuff. I mean, it's really nice to talk to people. Like, I mean, it's one thing to sort of communicate via YouTube or Facebook or you know, PMs or whatever, texts or whatever. But it's really nice to sort of have a chance to meet up in person. I think it really does make the difference when you do get to meet people. So I highly recommend people do this if you haven't done so already. I know a lot of you that went up to Blackpool got a chance to meet each other for the first time, and I really regret not being able to go to that. But there were some circumstances as to why I couldn't go. But you know, I definitely would like to go to Blackpool maybe next year. But it really does make a difference when you meet people in person. You get a much better idea of who they are, and of course, you know, you get to talk about games with them, and it is really great to talk to people that have the same sort of interests as you, because, and not just that, but just people that are on your level, or in Dal's case, you know, way above my level. You know, these you know, Dal and Jay, they're hardcore gamers, man. They know their shit. I mean, I know my shit, but they know their shit. You know, they're way above me. But yeah, really great to meet you guys. Yeah, so I had a fantastic day. You know, unfortunately had to run off. If I say I run off, I actually sort of stayed longer than I thought I was going to, because they arrived a bit late. I stuck around a bit longer just so I could talk to them and spend a bit of time with them. But after we sort of left PlayNation, I kind of had to dash off because I had to work that evening, which is a shame. But before I move on to what I picked up at PlayNation, I also want to again mention Stu from PlayNation Games, and also PlayNation Games in Croydon. Guys, if you live in the London area or you are visiting London, please head down there to PlayNation Games. They also have a YouTube channel, which I will put a link in the description below, so definitely check them out. They do a lot of videos of stock they've got in, and gameplays and stuff like that. So definitely check them out, and check out the store as well. The other owner is Dan, who wasn't there, but Stu, now I've met him. This is the second time I've met him now, and he's a really cool guy, as well as the other staff at PlayNation Games. They're all very friendly. So, you know, which is, you know, it's quite a rare thing to see in these sort of specialist shops. Usually they're sort of, you know, they're not very friendly people. But the guys at PlayNation Games are very friendly. You know, they'll stand around and talk to you about games and whatnot. You know, so they definitely recommend going there. But again, Stu, really nice guy, really helped me out. You know, he had they got cabinets there where they keep all their retro games, like all their sort of Super Nintendo games and stuff like that, and Game Boy Advance games, all the sort of cardboard box games. They keep them in sort of these glass cabinets. And you know, Stu is really accommodating. Like he just unlocks the cabs for me so I can have a rummage around the games, which is always nice. You know, I like sort of being left to my own devices and just sort of rummaging around, you know, at my leisure. That's really is a great thing to do at a retro game store. But yeah, so thanks again, Stu, for again being just really friendly and accommodating, and I'll definitely be going there again soon, mate. So don't have to worry about that. So yeah, so essentially this video is a pickups video, not just stuff that I picked up at PlayNation, but just stuff in general that I've been picking up. So this might be a bit of a long video, so you know, you might want to get a drink or something before you sort of get right into this. But yeah, anyway, moving on. So I'm going to start with the stuff that I picked up at PlayNation Games. Unfortunately, on that particular day, I did actually want to get something. I had one thing in mind, and that was a boxed Mega Drive Model 1. PlayNation had shown it in a video, and even though the video had been out for a while, I sort of thought, you know, I'm going to get it. But I unfortunately got caught slipping, and I was in there for a good 45 minutes rummaging around. It just didn't occur to me to just sort of ask Stu to put the Mega Drive to one side for me. And unfortunately, by the time I got round to actually saying to Stu, look, mate, could you just put the Mega Drive to one side for me? Someone at that particular moment was buying it, and I was just gutted. I was completely gutted. It just doesn't occur to you that someone's just going to go out and nab it right under your nose, but it did, and I got completely caught slipping. So live and learn, I suppose. But yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. But aside from that, I did find some good games here and there. There wasn't nothing major. There's nothing really amazing here. Or there are some good games here, but there was nothing really that sort of stood out, unfortunately. Although Jay and Daz and Dal, they had a field day, because there was a lot of, on that particular day, there was a lot of Japanese stuff. So, you know, I don't collect Japanese games, at least for the Saturn and Dreamcast, which is what they were sort of going for, and the Neo Geo and whatnot. So they were you know, like running around like, you know, in cloud nine. But for me, there wasn't really much there. But I did pick up a few good games here, so I'm going to start with those and then move on to my regular pickups. So the first thing I found, what I tend to usually do when I go into PlayNation Games, the first cabinet I usually go towards is the loose Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games. I always like going there because they have a very wide selection. And in the past, I have found some very good stuff. So I always like to sort of have a look there first. I have a very keen eye when it comes to Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy games. I know what to look out for. And, you know, sure enough, I found one game here. And it is a game that I do already own. But I had a US copy. So I wanted to get a PAL cart. The price was right, so I thought I'd pick it up again. It's a really great game. I really do recommend people check this game out. And that is Gekido Advance. And this is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. But it's a bit more like adventure-y. And what I mean by that is that you do have to... While it looks and plays very much like a Final Fight game, there is sort of more backtracking, and it's about sort of finding keys, and then you have to go back and open doors, which in turn lets you progress through the levels, and then you have bosses, and it looks fantastic. It's really is a brilliant game. I highly recommend this one, Gekido Advance. Definitely check this one out. Yeah, brilliant game. And the next game I've got here is for the original Game Boy, and it's just a game. It's nothing special. It's just a game that I've always wanted to play. I've seen other people pick it up in their pickups videos, and while I'm not familiar with the Game Boy version of this game, I am very familiar with the NES version. And I remember playing this game when I was a kid, and I found it to be a lot of fun. So, you know, I saw this game for 99p, so I figured I'd pick it up, and that was Super RC Pro-Am. And what this is like a nice isometric racing game where you sort of control these remote control cars. So think games like Rock and Roll Racing and stuff like that. It's very much in that vein, and it's a really fun game on the Game Boy. I was pleasantly surprised. Really fun game. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that one. And yeah, so after I sort of left the sort of loose cart cabinet, I go straight over to the to these boxed Game Boy Advance Game Boy games. I always like to have a look in there. Unfortunately, there was nothing there that really sort of caught my eye. But there was this one game. I mainly bought this because it was in really good nick and it was really cheap. And what I bought was the Sega Arcade Gallery. And the box is in fantastic condition. It's fully complete. It's in really nice condition. And it's only cost me £3. So I thought it was definitely worth picking up. And it's got 4 games on here, 4 classic Sega games. It's got Afterburner, Outrun, Space Harrier, and Super Hang-On. And yeah, it was in lovely condition. I mean, I'm not going to take it out, but it is in lovely condition. So, you know, for £3, you know, I was definitely not going to leave this behind. So I'm really glad to pick this one up. Okay. And the next game here that I bought from PlayNation Games, this is it's a PS1 game. It's definitely one that I've wanted to play. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about this game, but I am a very fan of the series. This is probably the one game in the series that I've never really played before. I think I might have played it in the arcades, but I don't really remember. It's definitely a forgotten game, and maybe for good reason. I don't know. I've yet to play it, but the game is Mortal Kombat 4, and it was $3.99. And yeah, I've yet to play this. It was this. I think this was the first Mortal Kombat game to sort of go 3D. I think it still plays in 2D. I'm not too sure. It's going to be interesting to play this one because I don't remember it much. I've played pretty much all the other versions of Mortal Kombat. The last game out, Mortal Kombat 9, is fantastic. One of my favourite fighters of the PS3 on the PS3. And I'm looking forward to the new one as well. So, yeah, I just sort of saw this there going for cheap. It is complete. So I thought I would definitely give this one a go. So, yeah, glad to get this. And finally, I've got 3 PS2 games here that I picked up from PlayNation Games. You know, one of them is actually a proper gem. But I actually already have the game. I just sort of picked it up mainly because it was a game that was going for a very good price, and I figured, you know, I could just use this as trade, because most of you know I'm trying to pick up some Wii games for a little small Wii collection. So I thought this would be a great game to use as trade if anybody wants it. But before I get to that game, I'll just start off with this one here. And the game is Black for the PS2. It is complete. And I don't know why I never got this game sooner. Right? I actually had the chance to play this game back during the PS2 era. And it's a fantastic first-person shooter. It is a brilliant, brilliant game. And that's saying something because I'm not a fan of first-person shooters. There's actually most first-person shooters I tend to find pretty boring. They just don't grab me. But this one was fantastic. This is a great sort of modern warfare type of shooter, and it plays really great. Really did enjoy this one, so I thought I'd pick it up. Yeah, so that's Black. And the next one I got here, this one was a bit pricey, but I actually traded in like a load of stuff at PlayNation, so I didn't actually pay for this. This is just part of credit. But I picked up Project 02, Crimson Butterfly. I have the first Project Zero, so I thought I may as well pick up the sequel. It's a survival horror game where you kind of use a camera to sort of take pictures of ghosts. I hear this game is really, really creepy. I haven't played it. I've got the first one, but I haven't played it yet. But I thought I'd pick the sequel up as well. So yeah, great to find that game. And the last pickup I got at PlayNation Games, and this is a right gem for the PS2. It is a game I already have on the PlayStation 2, and it's a fantastic game. It's a shoot 'em up. Got it for a really good price, so I figured I'd buy it and just sort of trade it off if anybody wants it. And that is Gradius 5, and it is complete and it's in very nice condition. And yeah, this is a phenomenal shooter. Yeah, just a fantastic game. It's a game made by Treasure, so it's definitely worth looking into. So yeah, this game is up for trade, and just to show you that it is complete. Yeah, this game is up for trade. If you've got any Wii games that I might be interested in, please let me know. Yeah, so yeah, great game, definitely worth having in the collection. So that's basically it in terms of PlayNation. Just to reiterate, I had a great time at PlayNation Games. It was great meeting up with YouTubers. I definitely recommend, you know, meeting up with fellow YouTubers if you can. You know, at least the guys that I met up with, all genuine guys. It was a pleasure meeting Dal and Jay for the first time. Really, really nice guys. I got on with them very well, so it was really great to meet them finally. And of course, you know, Ocarina Fella and Daz, just top blokes, really, really nice guys, and it was definitely great seeing them again. So now these all basically pickups from the last month and a bit. Most are games, of course, but there are a couple of stuff here that are just Blu-rays and DVDs. And I have a book as well, actually. I wasn't sure I was going to show this in the pickup video, but it's something geeky, it's something nerdy, so I figured I'd show it in the video as well. You know, just in case you guys might want to check it out. And the book I bought it on Amazon. It was a used book. It cost me about £1.20, something like that. It's a book I've been meaning to read for a very long time. And it's from a very famous author. And the book is Clive Barker's Cabal. And yeah, it's a used book. It's about £1.20. Been meaning to read this book for a very, very long time. And the reason for that is because I actually saw the film adaptation of this book way back in the day. There was a film based on this book that came out in 1990, but the film was called Nightbreed, and it's a film that I remember fondly as a kid. It's like a horror action film, really, really cool film, and something slightly different from Clive Barker. I mean, most people that are familiar with Clive Barker will know his probably most famous series, the Hellraiser series. So he primarily does sort of writes a lot of horror. And you know, his films are mainly horror based, you know, and Nightbreed is no different. It is a horror film, but not really. It's very much sort of like a horror action film, with sort of like these like a race of people that are born with like they look different. They're sort of creatures, and they live in hiding from the rest of the world. And it was a really cool film. It's actually going to get a Blu-ray release, like a remastered Blu-ray release very soon, which I'm looking forward to getting. Hopefully it gets a Region 2 release, because I know it is being released in the US. I don't know if it's going to get a release in the UK. If it's not released here officially, I hope at least it's Region 3 so I can at least import it. But yeah, it was a great film, and I remember it very fondly. So I've also heard that the book is so much better. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading Cabal. I don't read many books as of late, but you know, this is definitely one that I want to check out. I tend not to read a lot of fictional books. I tend to read a lot of more biographical books. That's really what I tend to read the most. But this is definitely one I've been looking forward to read, because like I say, I have very fond memories of the film. So yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. Now, moving on to some Blu-rays here. First one up is a steelbook, and it's a steelbook of one of my favourite films. Now, I'm a big fan of zombie films, so this is probably one of the definitive zombie films by George A. Romero, and that is Day of the Dead. And yeah, this is the steelbook version. I do have this film on DVD. It's got tons of features. This seems to be no different. It's got loads of features on here. I haven't checked it out yet, so I don't know what the transfer is like, but I'm very much looking forward to watching this, because Day of the Dead, it's the third in the Romero Dead series, and it's one of my favourites. Definitely one of my favourite all-time zombie films. Really great film, and yeah, just glad to have it in a steelbook. And the next Blu-ray I've got here, this is an import. Unfortunately, this is not available in the UK, but it is region free, so you can import it, no problems at all. And that is the Legend of Korra Book 2, Spirits. And this is the second series to the Legend of Korra, which in turn is a spin-off of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that cartoon show by Nickelodeon, but it was a really, really great cartoon series. I have spoken about the series before, and this release has been a long time coming, because I never got a chance to watch the series on TV. I think Nickelodeon in the UK have handled this series really poorly. I don't know when it's on. They don't really advertise it, and I don't really watch Nickelodeon, so I had to wait for this to come out before I could finally watch the episodes. I've already run through the series. I did hear a lot of mixed opinions about the series, but I did really enjoy it. I don't see what the issue is. I enjoyed it a lot, and I look forward to season 3. It's just started in the US, but I've got a long wait until the Blu-ray release of book 3. But in any case, I'm just finally glad to get this, and I highly recommend it. You know, if you check out Avatar: The Last Airbender, And of course, after you watch that, definitely check out Legend of Korra as well. So really glad to get this one. And now we're moving on to the games here. I've got a small little bundle here. Some really, really great titles. I've got 3 Wii titles, 1 PS3 title, 1 PlayStation 1 title, and 2 Super Famicom games. These are all superb games, some superb finds here. Really glad to get these games. I think I'll start with the PlayStation 1 game. This is essentially another gem for my PlayStation collection. One I definitely needed to get. Really, really happy. I actually got this on eBay, won it on auction, and I got it for 16 quid, which I thought was a great price, because this game tends to sell around the sort of 30 to £40 mark, but I didn't want to spend more than 20 for it, and I was really, really glad to get it. And that is Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. This is actually the last Capcom fighter that I needed for the PlayStation 1, so really, really chuffed to finally get this game. Now, most of the Capcom games that I have for the PlayStation 1 were actually bought at the time, because back then I was a huge fan of 2D beat-em-ups, and so I pretty much picked them up from new. But the reason why I passed on this one was because my thinking at the time was I didn't really see the point, because I had X-Men versus Street Fighter, and I had the Marvel vs. Capcom. No, I think Marvel vs. Capcom hadn't come out yet. No, I had X-Men versus Street Fighter, and I had Marvel Superheroes. So Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, I just didn't really see the point in getting it. So I passed on it at the time. And in hindsight, I do regret passing on it, but I'm finally glad to get it now. It is complete. It's in very nice condition for 16 quid. This completes the series of Capcom fights for me on the PlayStation 1. So really, really, really chuffed to get this one finally. So very, very happy with this one. And the next game I have here is for the PlayStation 3. This is a game I've been watching for a long time. You would think that given the type of game it is, that I would have bought it day one. But I don't know, I had my reservations. I wasn't too sure. A lot of people on the net were calling this game an RPG, even though it clearly wasn't. It does have RPG elements, but in truth, it's a straight up beat 'em up. And that game is Dragon's Crown. Picked this up, it was 20 quid. And yeah, it's a fantastic game, guys. I wasn't too sure what to expect when I got into this game. But it's a great side-scrolling beat 'em up. But it actually plays very similar to Gekido Advance. And essentially, while it's a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up, very much like Final Fight series or whatever, but it has RPG elements. You do get to boost the stats of your character, as well as recruit. You actually, what you do is, as you go on your missions, you find the remains of fallen soldiers. You pick up the remains and you sort of go back to your sort of hub world, and there's like a cathedral, and there you can resurrect these fallen soldiers, and then you can in turn recruit them to fight alongside you in your next mission. And you get like a list of different soldier types that will in turn fight with you. And of course, the more you use them, the more experience they get, and the better they get at sort of backing you up in fights. And it's really great. But there is a lot of back and forth. You have like a hub world that you have to keep going back to purchase new items, or to get new missions, or like I said before, resurrect fallen soldiers. But it is a fantastic game. Graphically, this game is amazing. It has a very, very cool art style. It's a very beautiful looking game. I have to say, for a 2D game, it is such a beautiful looking game. It's definitely one of the nicest looking games on the PlayStation 3. It's fantastic art style. Really, really great. Plays great. Plays, you know, like you would expect from a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And I like the effort they put into it. You know, this is definitely a good direction for a modern side-scrolling beat 'em up, because it is difficult to see how a modern side-scrolling beat 'em up would fare with today's sort of audiences that kind of expect a lot more from games in modern consoles. So they did a lot with this game. As you would expect, there is 2-player local co-op, as well as online co-op. You can actually play with quite a lot of people. I think it's up to 4 players via online. Yeah, so this is definitely a recommendation. If you like side-scrolling beat 'em ups, there really is no excuse to pass up on this game. Definitely check this one out. Yeah, brilliant game. And the next 2 games I've got here are for the... No, actually, I'll leave these till last. The next games I've got are the Wii titles. I picked up 3 more editions for the Wii Collection. So, really happy with these games. 2 of them were on my list, and one of the games was actually a recommendation. So the first game I got here, which was the recommendation, I actually got, this was recommended to me from my last video. In the comment section, Scott, aka Sega Saturn Lad, he was the one that brought this game to my attention. And the game is Wario Land, The Shakedown. And yeah, so Sega Saturn Land was the one that brought this game to my attention. He told me it was a 2D game. I went on and checked out some footage. It looked fantastic. I am a fan of the Wario Land series, so you know, this game definitely caught my attention when he brought it up. It looks brilliant, so I'm glad to finally get it added to the collection. And yeah, it's very much a 2D side-scrolling game, but it relies a lot on the Wii motion controls. As the title would suggest, the shake dimension, it kind of sort of like, you have to shake the pad at various points, I think, to make your way through the levels. But I look forward to trying this game out at some point when I finally get my my Wii U. Just to sort of put it out there, for those of you that might have missed my last collection video, I'm picking up a collection of 20 Wii titles, 20 select Wii titles, 20 to 25 maybe, of just select games, because I'm planning on picking up at Wii U down the line. And I thought I'd like to just be the first, a good opportunity for me to try out some of the games in the Wii library, so I never owned the Wii. So yeah, thanks a lot, Scott, for this recommendation, mate. It's a fantastic, looks fantastic. Can't wait to play this one. And the next game I got here, I actually found this at CEX, and I was chuffed to get it because it was one that I thought might be a bit awkward to find. So I'm glad to finally get this one, because it's a game that I've always wanted to play. It actually originally was on the GameCube. Never owned a GameCube, but I'm a big fan of the series, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying this one out. And that is Resident Evil 0. And this is the prequel to the very first Resident Evil game, and it was a GameCube exclusive, and it remains a Nintendo exclusive. It's not been ported to any other system, any other company. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying out this one. Yeah, so yeah, glad to get this one in the collection. And the last Wii game I picked up, this actually just arrived today. And I'm a fan of the series. I'm actually a big fan of the Super Nintendo version of this game. And ever since I actually, when this game first came out for the Wii, I almost decided to pick up a Wii because I wanted to try this game, just because I'm a fan of the series. And the game is Punch-Out! And yeah, I do enjoy the Super Nintendo game. So, and I actually hear this one is pretty good, so really happy to get this one. It is sealed, and I picked it up for cheap. So I picked it up, bought it on eBay, and yeah, really chuffed to add this one to the collection. It was definitely one that I've been looking forward to getting. And finally, I've got 2 Super Famicom games here. Now these 2 games have been long time coming. And I actually got these games for a very good price. I'll just open them up actually. I've got them in box protectors, so I'll just take them out of their box protectors just so you guys can take a good look at the condition. Okay. Right. So the first game I've got here. Now, this was actually. I kind of broke my own rule here when I picked this one up, simply because it isn't complete. It's missing its manual, But the reason why I picked it up was because even though it is missing the manual, the price, I just couldn't pass it up for the price, because I bought it for £11, and a fully complete copy tends to go for around £40 to £50. Now, because it's a game I'm not familiar with, I've never played it before, I've seen footage of it, it looks fantastic. So I thought, well, you know, I'll buy this one now, and if I really do like it, I'll just use it as a placeholder, and I'll probably pick up a complete copy later on down the line. But to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, aside from the fact it doesn't have the manual, the box is in really nice condition. You know, the cart was a little bit grimy when I got it, but I've since cleaned it up. But anyway, the game is, I forgot the full name of this game, so I'm just going to call it Zenki. It's also known as Battle Raiden. And what this is a 2D side-scrolling action game. And it's definitely one that's been on my radar for a very long time. I've never played it, I've just seen footage of it, it looked fantastic. And it's been one on my watch list. But like I say, it's quite a pricey title complete. But I saw this one going for 11 quid. And as you can see, it's in very nice condition box-wise. And it looks like a great, definitely looks one of those games, looks very much up my street. You know, very much in the sort of Hagane type of action, ninja type, you know, sort of game, superhero type game. So definitely looking forward to trying this one out. So yeah, really chuffed with this one. And finally, the last game here. This is a game that never got a European release. Well, actually, I should say as well, Zenki as well has never been released outside of Japan. I kind of do have this sort of rule where when it comes to picking up for Super Famicom games, I sort of aim for Japanese exclusives. Essentially, if they weren't released in PAL, you know, because some of them were released in the US, but if they weren't released in PAL territory, then I'll pick up the Super Famicom version. But so lately I've been sort of reconsidering that stance and maybe picking up a few games that were even released in the PAL formats. But unfortunately, the PAL games are just, you know, way out of my price range. So I might opt for the much cheaper Super Famicom alternative. But this game did get a US release, but it wasn't released in PAL territories. And that's because it was released very late in the Super Nintendo lifespan. I believe this game might have come out in '97. And it's from a very well-known series. This is a series that I've spoken about before in the past. Really big fan of it. Recently picked up one of the games of that series, the latest game of that series on the 3DS. And the one I'm talking about is Kirby Dreamland 3. And this was a Super Nintendo exclusive. And it's in very nice condition. It is fully complete. And it only set me back £20. So it's really chuffed to get this game. As like I say, I'm a big fan of the Kirby series. So much fun. I have pretty much most of the games in the series now across various formats. They're not the hardest games in the world, but I do enjoy them a lot. Just very much fall into the sort of Mario type, you know, just great all-round family fun games. And yeah, I look forward to trying this one out as well. So that's it, guys. Those are my pickups now for the last month and a bit. You know, I hope this video hasn't dragged on too long. It's just going over, coming up to 40 minutes. Sorry about the length of the video, guys, but there was a lot to show and a lot to talk about. But yeah, as I was saying, guys, I'm going to leave you there, guys. Thank you very much for watching, sticking around and watching the video. Of course, you know, like, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, because it does really help me a lot. And of course, you know, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys think. And you know, just to round it off, big thanks again to Daz Cojones Deloro, J Cybersnake7, the Retro Godfather Dow, and Ocarina Fella. Carl, great to meet you guys again. Stu from PlayNation Games, it was great to meet you again. Had a lot of fun at PlayNation. Definitely want to do have another meet up soon. Yeah. Had a great time. Some good games here. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I will be back soon. I have been a bit slack when it comes to making videos. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. The weather's just been too nice, and I just haven't been inside much. Just trying to go out and enjoy the weather a bit more. I'll try and put out some videos soon again, but I probably won't really pick up the slack until around September time, if I'm honest with you. But you will see some more content very soon. I'm not going to wait until September till my next video. Don't worry, guys. But there will be, you know, the videos have slowed down a little bit. I will admit that. But yeah, it's just been too hot to be inside, and because it's been so hot, it's just really hard to sort of sit here and talk in front of the camera, because I just want to be outside most of the time. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll be back very soon. Bye bye.